Hey folks, thanks for checking the video out. I want to talk about something very close to my heart today, and this is, well, it's twofold. It's mastering, which I love, it's great, it's fun, but more to the point, it's mastering with a specific compressor. Now, when I learned to master, when I was kind of in training as it were, I learned using the Manley vari-mu compressor, and I love this thing. There's nothing that it can't do in terms of mastering for me. So when I saw that Pulsar had the Mu, emulation, I was excited. I was even more excited when they shoved it in my direction and said, have fun with it. That was brilliant. So you can check this out on an affiliate link down the bottom. I never promote anything that I don't genuinely believe in, and this is the ultimate mastering compressor. For me, I 100% believe that. I will be using this on every single master from now on. You can check it out. You can chuck a little bit of a kickback my way. It helps to keep my channel going, and it doesn't give me enough to sway my judgment, if you know what I mean. So it's a nice little kickback, but then there's nothing there that's going to make me change my mind about something. There's nothing there that's going to say, that's such a significant amount of money, I'm going to just put out a video that says something that I don't actually think. It's not about that. I love this compressor, and I think you should own it, really. So I want to go through it today. I want to take a look at some of the features. It's not like an in-depth review. It's just showing why it's so amazing. And to me, this plugin has all the kind of hallmarks of what the hardware has. And the reason that I love this plugin is exactly the same reason that I love the hardware. It's very, very similar. It just does stuff that a normal mastering compressor doesn't do, or a normal compressor kind of doesn't do. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So let's check it out. Okay, so for those of you who haven't seen it, this is the Pulsar Mu, Mu, however you want to say it. It's an emulation of a very famous unit. So there's a couple of things that we need to be aware of here. First of all, it's not like your traditional kind of ratio, threshold, attack, release, all that kind of stuff. It's got attack and release, but it's got a threshold. It's not got a ratio. You just kind of switch between either compression or limiting. But what this compressor does is it doesn't sound like it's bringing down peaks. It just sounds like it's bringing up level and bringing up overall kind of mushiness and gushiness. And when I say mushiness, that's often bad, but to me it's not in this case. It's just kind of hugging the sound. I want to play you before and after, and you'll see exactly why it's so special. So let's go off first, and then we'll bring it back in and see how it sounds. So to me, that has a very specific sound. It's bringing up all the low-level stuff, and it doesn't really sound like it's bringing down the peaks, although it kind of is. We can tell from the meters that it is just a touch, but importantly, it doesn't sound like it is. And to me, this is like kind of the opposite of what we think of when we think of compression. This is not about slamming down transients. This is not about bringing down low-level stuff. This is about vibe. This is about harmonics. But most of all, this is about bringing the whole track together. This is about cohesion. And to me, that is exactly what mastering is about. It's about cohesion. It's about getting a track to sound releasable, to get it to sound the way that it kind of should do, and to just be the final glue bringing everything together. So on this, I've got the attack down really, really slow, and the input and output. So this is kind of the interesting one. So we've got dual input. So the input comes up as the output goes down, and you just have the threshold set kind of wherever you want to set it, and then just bring up the input into it. So the threshold is just kind of there, and then you bring up the input into it, and the more you bring up the input, the more of it's going to meet the threshold, and the more of it's going to, get compressed. But what I've found is that if you bring up the input more, then you're going to get loads and loads more character. So as opposed to bringing the threshold down, if you bring the input up, then you're going to get more character than if you were to bring that threshold down. Let's just take a little look at that. So check out the meters as I bring this threshold from maximum down to minimum. And I have to say, actually, even though we're getting like 4 dB of gain reduction, it doesn't sound like it. It just sounds awesome. Just go out and then in again. It doesn't sound like you're actually chopping off transients much at all. It just sounds awesome. And this is on the slowest setting on the attack, so that's kind of why. But anyway, we can bring down the threshold, and that's going to get us more gain reduction, as we just saw. Or we can leave that kind of where it is, and then if we hold shift and drag the input up, that's going to simultaneously bring the output down. So we'll hear a bit more of a vibey sound, but we'll start getting more gain reduction. Yeah, so obviously you're getting a bit more kind of crush from that because you're driving it more into the unit, so you're getting more saturation, more harmonics, so it's kind of crushing this a little bit more. Okay, the interesting thing about this though is when you take a look at it in terms of a metering plugin as well. So I've got Insight 2 on here, and this is from Isotope. Let's just take a look at, well, first of all, let's take a look at the LUFS, so the loudness before it's on and then when it's on. So let's take it out and let's just play this section and take a look at our integrated loudness. Okay, so 17.3 more or less. So let's just drive us just a little bit more and just check out the integrated loudness when we do this. And take the space to breathe. 17.2. It's basically no different. Take a look at the peak level. So let's take it out and check the maximum peak. Even just playing that section, so we're at 1.4, minus 1.4 on the right hand side. Let's bring it in, reset those meters. Okay, so we're not actually raising the integrated loudness, but we are bringing down the peak levels pretty significantly. But the only reason we know that is because we're looking at the meters. If you didn't have those meters, let's close that down. Let's just listen to it, bring the compressor out and then in again. You would say that it was the complete opposite. You would say that it's bringing up the overall LUFS and that the peak level is kind of staying the same. Listen to those snares. They don't move. They don't change. Make them change even less. Let's do a little bit of a longer section. That is just a great sounding compressor. It doesn't like slam down on stuff. It just hugs the sound and it just makes everything sound bigger and warmer, fatter. But the meters, as we saw on Insight, it doesn't really correlate that much with what we're hearing. Like, we're not really hearing the transients come down that much, but we're hearing an increase in body, in level. So our ears are telling us that the transients aren't really coming down and that the body is increasing, so the LUFS is probably increasing, but the LUFS is actually not changing really. It's just staying the same, and the transients are coming down considerably, but it's so transparent that you don't even notice it. Like, admittedly, there was a little bit of a squash when I brought the input down. We noticed it a little bit less. You know, I'm not going to pretend that it wasn't there, but it was so insignificant that I didn't even really notice it. You know, you'd A/B them and you'd kind of go, well, it sounds the same, as we did. So I think this compressor is just such a treat to use, and it's got a side chain on it as well, so we can side chain into the compressor. So we can have it as internal or external. So external, we can obviously bring in like a kick drum or something at the side chain, and then it'll compress when that kick drum is present. Or we can do side chain EQ, so we can essentially kind of boost up into the compressor. So let's say we want to boost up like 1K. We want it to be aggressive at 1K. We can boost 1K into the sidechain detector, and therefore it's going to kind of hear 1K a little bit more. So it's going to come down on that kind of area a little bit more. Let's just put that into practice. So let's go sidechain listen, and let's take a listen to that area. So let's go for like 1K, whatever. That I just picked that number out of thin air, but let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, so that's that 1K. Whoa. So that 1K area is coming into the compressor more. So as we shove that up, then it's coming more into it.
I wanna settle down slowly and take the space to breathe.
And that's really effective if you've got kind of an aggressive, harsh mid-range or any kind of frequency area, really. You can make it so that it will react more strongly to that frequency area. But when we talk about sidechain EQ for a compressor, we often think about taking the bottom end out. And guess what? It's got one of them as well. So we can take out the bottom end up to 200 hertz. So it's not going to react to the... How little that meter moves when we do that. Then bring it down again. That tells us that it's only really being affected by the bottom end. So in this instance, it would probably be an idea to bring this up considerably, and then we can be a little bit more aggressive with it. Let's try that out.
I wanna settle down slowly and take the space to breathe. I'm ready to walk through the dark.
Just sounds great. It just kind of hugs the sound. And then we can do this one. So this one kind of brings up the top end into the detector circuit. So it will be a little bit more aggressive on the top end, and it will kind of soften that top end a little bit. We go to sidechain listen, you'll be able to hear that top end coming up.
I wanna settle down slowly and take the space to breathe.
So it's going to react to the high end just in a different way. It's going to get there earlier, essentially. And we've got mid-side as well, which do I use it a lot? I wouldn't say I use it a lot. I'd say that when I'm compressing a master, I'm in stereo unless there's a significant issue that is causing me to go to mid-side. But to have it there is pretty cool, and the original unit's got that as well. So, the ultimate master compressor. I still think it is. I still think it's absolutely fantastic. There's other tools that do other jobs. I've not used every compressor out there. You know, nobody probably has. But to me, it just does... Like, if you were to ask me, what do you want in a mastering compressor? I would write down 3 or 4 points, and this does all of them. And that's exactly what I want. So for me, this is absolutely the pinnacle of mastering compressors. The hardware for me is absolutely phenomenal. If I could afford one, I'd have 35 of them, but I can't, so I haven't. So this plugin is, to me, the next best thing, and it's absolutely fantastic. You can check out an affiliate link down the bottom. As I've said before, I will genuinely never like promote something that I don't believe in, and I just believe in this so much. I think this is fantastic. I think this is absolutely the greatest mastering compressor that I can get as a plugin. If you think differently, if you think there's a better one that I need to check out, I would love for you to leave it in the comments and let me know about it, because this one is going to take some beating. I'll see you again soon. Take care.